It's my job to say it, not my job to, pick sides, not my job to, try to win a personality award.
Just a final two before I do let you go. You were there a couple of weeks ago at Wembley in London, and you saw a great fight in Daniel Dubois beating Anthony Joshua. I do want to talk about Anthony Joshua because obviously we know Daniel's got the world at his feet right now. He's got potentially great fights with the top two or even some great emerging heavyweights in number 4 and number 5. But for Anthony Joshua, the way of defeat, how does he come back from this mentally? Because we know physically he's got the attributes, but mentally, how does he come back from this?
The good news about that is good news and bad news, obviously. The bad news is, it's a hell of a thing to come back from. To be able to let yourself know that you can handle that you will be the guy that you used to be or that you thought you were after that kind of loss. To be able to come back and sort of like, that old Humpty Dumpty, skit and story where all the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put it back together again. Can you put together someone who's mentally gone through what he's gone through and been beaten the way he's been beaten? That's the bad news. That's the most important part to overcome. The good news is that I think everyone's sleeping on is that Joshua has done it before. And the bad news is part of that because he has done it before. Because because you don't want to be, in this case, saying, I've done it before. You don't want to be saying that in boxing too many times. But you do. Some of the greats have done it before. And they've done what so far, up to now, Joshua did in the earlier stages that I'm talking about, that I'm touching on. He came back after he got knocked out by Ruiz. He did face what he had to face. He didn't get a tune-up. He came back directly, whatever amount of time it was. He reinvented his body. He reinvented his style. He moved all over the place in that fight. But whatever it was, he faced what he had to face himself. He faced himself. He faced what went wrong, what was his failing. He looked in the mirror. He got ready for the fight. He came back, and he redeemed himself. He won that fight. So that is the answer to your question, that he just needs to go and talk to himself. I don't even know if he needs to talk to anyone else. And I know people say, Teddy, when you talk to yourself, you're crazy. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, and of course I'm saying that metaphorically. I'm not saying that you're actually going to stand in a room and talk to yourself, but in your own way, you say to yourself, "Hey, we've been here before. You got knocked out by Ruiz. Let's correct the reasons why you got knocked out by him, which you did. You for that fight, you corrected it, right?" I know Ruiz helped you a little bit coming in the weight that he came in. Probably helped you a little bit where Ruiz may not have been quite at the effort that maybe he should have been. But either way, to come back, Joshua deserves credit for that and deserves remembering for that. That all he has to do now is, again, it's a difficult task, but to look at what he went through already and just to have that conversation with himself. Say, hey, listen, we've been here. We came back from this. You had your doubts. How are you going to do this? And you figured it out. Let's go figure it out again. We got to figure it out again. The same way you figured it out with Ruiz, you got to figure it out now with Dubois. What went wrong, why it went wrong, and go and face that, face the most difficult thing you can face in life, the doubts of defeat, the doubts of whether or not you're good enough, the doubts of whether or not, you can go and, you can go and face something that has already It's the same thing that you did before. Remind yourself, I've done this before. I got tested in this way before. I can do it. It's, and that's what makes boxing so interesting. Because, again, you get a chance for redemption. He's going to get a chance for redemption on a great stage. And listen, I give him credit. He's made all the money in the world. He's got all the adulation in the world. All the fans, the British fans are the greatest. He's got unbelievable. And he's got all of that. He's got Hearn behind him. He's got Ben Davis. He's got all people that have been behind him, stuck with him all the way through. He doesn't have to say, I want the rematch right away. He could just leave, obviously, and he's had a hell of a career, or he could go a different path. But no, his pride is talking right now. His pride is talking and saying, hey, no, I need to answer this. I need to find out. And I need to find out now. I tell you the truth, me and him haven't seen eye to eye too often, quite frankly. And he feels, I'm sure that I've been critical of him. For me, I haven't been. For me, I've been just doing what I've done for 50 years in this business, saying what I see or 50 years of experience in this business, saying what I see and saying it because it's my job to say it, not my job to, pick sides, not my job to, try to win a personality award or a popularity award, which I wouldn't win. I think I come in second or third. But my job is to put out there from the people that do want to hear what I say, what I believe to be the truth, unvarnished, untouched, uncompromised by what somebody might feel when I say it, or say about me when I say it. But at the end of the day, I say when he does something wrong, like I say for anybody that I'm asked about in the position that I have in boxing as a commentator and before that a trainer and everything. But I also say the other side of it. I admire Joshua for having faced the things that he's faced in the past and that he's about to face, it sounds like, again.